Hey, everybody. Good evening. We're going to start the show in just a few more minutes. Give everybody a chance to get on. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Tonight, we have an interview that I think you're going to be excited about. We're going to talk to the actress, the now going to be star of the new film, Peter Pan and Wendy from Disney+. She's going to be the new Tiger Lily. All right, 2 more minutes. We'll start the show. Thank you for being here. Really excited for you to hear the interview tonight with Alyssa. Also, we're going to talk about some other things going on, including tell you more about the giveaway we're doing right now of 3 8th generation blankets. That's one of them here to show you tonight, and maybe even get a bonus code, get you some extra entries. So stay tuned. All that's coming up. I see we got Pittsburgh watching, California watching, a couple of people in California. Hello. Appreciate you joining us. Connecticut's here as well. Ottawa, Canada, Oregon. All right, New York City too. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Almost time to get started. Thank you. Illinois watching too. All right.
Jermaine Bell. Jermaine. Thank you, Wild Boys. I do believe sang that song. Is that right?
Good evening. Thank you for joining tonight. My name is Paul Gowder. I am the founder of PowWows.com, and this is the show we do here at PowWows.com for you, our community out there, Powwow Nation Live. Thank you for being here. We do it every Thursday night, 9 o'clock. So thank you for being here tonight. We are live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So thank you for watching wherever you are. Keep posting the comments. I love seeing where everybody's from. I see Texas and Tennessee posting. Hello. All right. Yeah, there's Abilene, Texas. Hey. All right. So on tonight's show, I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to share with you the interview I did with the actress starring in the new Disney film, Peter Pan and Wendy. So we'll talk about that. But first, I do have some announcements. All right. And so let's go ahead and talk about the contest, right? We are giving away some 8th generation blankets. Thanks to our friends over there at 8th Generation for providing the prizes for this. We're counting down the days till the Gathering of Nations powwow at the end of April. That is the biggest powwow of the year, and we will be there again. So excited to be back. We'll be streaming live from the powwow and Stage 49. More about that in a minute. But the contest is to get excited and to count down the days till that. You can enter over at PowWows.com/win. And here is one of the blankets you can win. Oh, there it is. Look at that. There's some more of the colors. Reverse side, 8th generation. Makes some super great blankets. If you can see this big box back there in the back, we've got a stack of blankets from them. I did do an unboxing of all the blankets a couple of days ago. You can go back and watch that on Facebook and YouTube. So later on in the show, I will give you a bonus code. It'll get you extra entries into the contest. You can find those all over the place. I give them here on the live shows. I put them in email newsletters. I put them on our podcast. I put them all over the website. I've given out, I think I've hidden almost 75 bonus codes already, and it's only March 16th, and we've got all the way till the end of April. So there are going to be tons and tons of those. So keep looking, find some bonus codes. All right, let's see. Virginia's now watching. Hello, Virginia. Indiana's here. Beautiful mess. Thanks for being here again this week. Appreciate you. All right, let's talk about the powwow calendar. Our calendar is getting updated with tons and tons of events happening all over Indian country. We have events listed all over the US and Canada, and you can find out more over at PowWows.com/calendar. Or if you just want to download the whole calendar to your phone, your desktop, your iPad, PowWowCalendarBook.com will give you that. And every month we update that with all of the stuff, all the event listings. So you can check that out. That's how you can get that. So we appreciate you go check that, click that, and you can find out more about all the events going on. Marshall, hello, Marshall. Thanks for being here again. Also, don't forget we do have some really cool products. Can't see it now because of the lower third. There you go. I'm wearing one of those shirts tonight. One of our shirts. Also, we've got cool stickers like this one, and I do have some stickers that go on sale starting tomorrow, 25% off. Automatic discount. If you're subscribed to the email, you will find out about that and get a link to it. So be sure you're subscribed to our email newsletter. There's another ad for our stuff. All right. Also, hold on. Now I'm clicking all the wrong buttons. Also, if you'd like to support PowWows.com, and we'd really appreciate it if you did, an easy way to do that is by shopping over at Amazon. If you visit PowWows.com/Amazon first before you start your shopping, where am I from? Before you start your shopping, Amazon will give us a small commission for things you buy, and it costs you nothing extra. So it's super easy to do, and we appreciate that support. Where are my buttons? Are not working tonight. There we go. My controller went weird, and now I can't see which buttons are which. I got to figure what happened to all that. But that's another story. All right. The other thing I want to talk about tonight in the announcements before we get to the interview, our longtime listeners and watchers will know that we have been sponsoring Leah Senegini on the Professional Disc Golf Pro Tour for the last year. The season we're 3 events into the new season, and so I want to do updates this year and let you know what's going on with her. The next event on the Pro Tour starts tomorrow in Austin, Texas. If you're out in Texas, hey, check it out. Go by and support Leah. The last event, let's see, she placed 47th at the Las Vegas Challenge. March 10th through the 12th was the Prodigy Presents Waco. That was out in Texas as well. This is kind of their Texas swing of the tour, and she placed 39th there. So we're excited. Leah's having a good season so far. She's sponsored by Lone Star as her disc manufacturer, and of course sponsored by PowWows.com. So as I see, Beautiful Mess says you never played disc golf. Look, let me tell you. Hold on. I've got a disc right here. Look at this. So if you've never played disc golf, you really should check it out. It's a great sport. What I love about it is it's easy for anybody to go pick up. You can grab one of these discs, play it again. They sell used discs. You can buy them for like $8 to $10. I mean, there are more expensive discs, but $8 to $10 will get you a disc. Most of the courses are free to play. It's so much easier than some of the other sports to get into. And hey, it's just throwing frisbees, right? Now there are different frisbees. This is a mid-range, right? This is like a wedge or something like that. Maybe a 7-iron is what this disc is kind of like if you play golf. But you just throw this and you just aim it at baskets. A great sport. You can play with the whole family. Highly recommend it. And support Leah while you do it. All right, that's our Leah watch for this week. So let's go back to talking about what's going on at Gathering of Nations. They made an announcement this week, and I do want to show that. Here we go. If you're not familiar with Gathering of Nations, that is the nation I mentioned earlier. It is the biggest powwow of the year. It's held in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The powwow is huge, lots and lots of dancers. The other thing they have, though, and I'm going to flip over and show you, they also have Stage 49, which is their music festival. And they just announced the lineup of what's happening over on Stage 49. So check out some of the people who will be performing. Common Kings, Native Roots. They've been there before. That's a good group. Nth Power, I've heard them too. They're awesome. Reading out some of the other people here I know. DJ Logic, he's been there for a few years. He's always really great. Osceola Brothers, I've seen them online. Their stuff's good. Corey Medina, yeah, I've seen him too. He's good. So look at this lineup. It's huge. It's full of folks going to be there. So make sure you check that out. If you're not going, we will be streaming the entire Stage 49 live as well. So you can watch all of those music and special performances right here on PowWows.com. Iron Man sucks. Can you use paper plates? You could, but they're not going to go very far. A typical disc golf hole is like 200, 300 feet. Oh, and there she is. Hey, Brooke. Brooke is my daughter down there in Charleston, a freshman at the College of Charleston. Hey, Brooke. And I'll tell you one of the things, the pandemic was bad in lots of ways, but there were good things that happened for it. One of the things, and when I look back on the pandemic that I remember, is that when she was home, I was home working, and we played disc golf every day at lunch. Sometimes it went a little longer than lunch, right, Burke? But no, we played disc golf together. I mean, every day for like a month, maybe even close to 2 months. We played every day. We played this little local course. It's a lot of fun, and so yeah, it is great fun. She's pretty good. She's got a mean jump putt when she tries it. All right, but hey, Brooke, I hope y'all are having a good night down there in Charleston. Thanks for making me nervous and watching. I love it when her or her mom watches. Always makes me more nervous, right? Okay, back on the other stuff. So I want to talk a little bit about the guest we have tonight. So Disney has a release coming up of a movie called Peter Pan and Wendy, and it is a live action remake of their classic Peter Pan. If you've watched Peter Pan in the past, you know that there are some scenes that are questionable at best. In recent years, Disney put a cultural notice on some of their films because they realized that they made some major mistakes in some of these. They have one movie they've yet to re-release, and it's not available on DVD or streaming or anything. That's Song of the South. They're actually removing a ride at Disney World and Disneyland because of the issues with that film. Peter Pan is another one that has some issues in there. They even have a song in the movie called "What Makes the Red Man Red," and so it's very stereotypical imagery, and the talking, the voices they use, really really bad stereotypical stuff that was not acceptable then and is really not acceptable today. We know better, right? So in recent years, Disney has, and let me back up and say, I know if you guys know me and watch me before, you know I am a huge Disney fan. We go often, so I am a little biased, but and this is an area I do criticize Disney, and I'm glad they're addressing it. But in recent years, they've started an effort that they call Stories Matter, and with that, they are trying to fix their upcoming, new releases and do a better job with telling those stories. Sorry, I've got something playing there in the background, which is important. And I meant to have this up, but I want to. So this is their website for Stories Matter. Stories shape how we see ourselves and everyone around us. So as storytellers, we have the power and responsibility to not only uplift and inspire, but also consciously, purposefully, and relentlessly champion the spectrum of voices and perspective in our world. And how about this? Because happily ever after doesn't just happen, it takes efforts we are making. So when we posted the story that this was happening a couple of weeks ago, that Peter Pan and Wendy was being released, and that a native actress was being cast as the Tiger Lily, and that character was returning in this film, and some of the comments were negative toward it. And like one comment actually says that they are tired of Disney being woke. I mentioned this in the interview with Alyssa, and I'm so tired of that word, and I think it is so overused, and it's so easy to throw around the term woke and just be mad at stuff without actually having a conversation or giving this thought. So what I challenge people with is, yes, Disney messed up in the past, and they're still messing up today. They're not perfect, but they are a corporation that is trying, and I would rather see somebody trying than ignoring it. if they're going to remake Peter Pan and Wendy, which remaking movies is a whole nother discussion, right? Some of these probably just need to sit on the shelves. But if they're going to remake Peter Pan and Wendy, how do they handle that story? What do they do with it? Do they just leave Tiger Lily out? I don't. Ignoring the issue doesn't fix it. So for me, I am very interested to see how they're handling this. I love the idea that they've actually invited um, Alyssa into this film. She's Cree. So let me tell you a little bit more about her. She was born in Fort McMurphy, Alberta, and she grew up there. She's a member of the Big Stone Cree First Nation, and her reserve there is in Fort McMurphy. Um, so having said all that, I think it's exciting to see, and I love, as she talks about this in the interview, that the director calls her and they had conversations during the filming, and he invited her to share part of her culture and make that into the character. So with Disney doing this, with other shows like Reservation Dogs and Rutherford Falls, and all of these stories having authentic indigenous storylines and in actual indigenous actors in those roles, this is huge, and I think it is super important for our youth to see these characters and to see themselves in movies and TV shows. So I love the idea. Now I haven't seen the movie yet, so I'm still a little hesitant. We'll see how it comes out, but I'm excited and I'm glad they're actually making an effort with this. So with all that said, here's my interview with the new Tiger Lily. Ready?
Hi, my name is Alyssa Wapanatahk. I am from the Big Stone Cree First Nation in Treaty 8 territory in Canada, and I am playing Tiger Lily in this Disney's upcoming Peter Pan and Wendy coming April 28th.
That is so exciting that we're getting an authentic story of Tiger Lily in the movie. First, I mean, how did you? I guess let's go all the way back, right? How did you get involved in acting? Is this something you've been doing for a long time, or is this recent?
No, it's so funny because I've never anybody who's known me growing up, I've never been into drama at all or anything like that. I would be like so scared to be in front of anybody doing any performing. So I was not a drama person growing up. But then suddenly one day, my mom had a friend who was in the film industry, and she just asked us to go out for an audition. I had no idea what it was all about. I had no idea what an audition was. But that was when I was 16 years old. And that's basically what drew me into the whole filmmaking process and seeing indigenous people making their own stories that just really connected to me, and I fell deeply deeply in love with it. And when I turned 18, that's when I went to acting school, and I have my diploma in acting for TV and film. And after that, I've just been hustling and hustling, and then of course the magic happened and I got my big role, and things have just been like a steam train since then.
That's really exciting. It seems like we're really in. I don't want to say resurgence because it was never a surgence, right? But we're in this big, all of a sudden, explosion of indigenous people in film and TV, with Reservation Dogs and Rutherford Fall, and everything, all this story.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to see that Disney's taking this step as well in the remaking of this classic. How did it come about that they looked, for you to be a part of this, and how do they approach you with the idea of actually putting a more authentic spin on Tiger Lily?
I think it's something that they knew they had to do. I think they really want to remake all these classics in a really good way because a lot of the classics in Disney were not done very well in regards to representation of, I think, any cultures. They were all just done kind of poorly and just living in the past. So I think they wanted to come out of that and with new directors and new people that are a little more kind and actually know that this stuff is important. It's important to have representation done properly. And yeah, that's when they casted Peter Pan and Wendy, and they're looking to make Tiger Lily into a much bigger role than she was ever given in the past films. There are so many films of Peter Pan and Wendy, and this one I think is, like everybody is seeing just from the trailer, I think it is 100 times better for representation and for Tiger Lily.
I've, I've always I've always had a hard time wrapping my head around how Peter Pan got made with what they put in the movie. I don't know how much I'm a Disney guy, so I know I love reading about Walt, and his wife actually grew up on a reservation. So she had a very strong relationship with several tribes, and I would think had a better understanding. So it really surprised me when you watch that movie and how bad it was, right? How stereotypical it was. Um, so, what did they tell you about the character, and were you given, any input in how the character was going to be created, and kind of what her story was?
Yeah, there was tons and tons of conversations that went in immediately in pre-production. Um, I think first I saw the script, and the script was done so well, and I knew that all of Tiger Lily's stuff was so beautiful, and I could already see it being in really great shape at that point. Um, as we went along in pre-production, David Lowery reached out to me, the director, and he asked me if I would like to bring in my Cree culture into the film. That was another huge, huge point for me. I remember the day like so clearly because I was so giddy and like so excited because I see this email pop up on my computer, and I'm like reading it aloud to my whole family. I'm like, can you believe this is happening? Like, this is just everything that was happening in the whole pre-production process while we were filming, and even in post. They're always keeping in touch with me and always asking me. Disney is always asking me if what we're doing is good, and they're asking me to put my own voice in it and to give my own self to it basically, and I've been really happy to do that every step of the way.
That's really refreshing to hear that they're, it starting the conversation, right? Just having the conversation is a big difference than what we've seen in the past, from not just Disney, but from everybody in Hollywood, right? Um,
Yeah.
So on PowWows.com, we published a story about this last week because we're so excited to see that this coming to be. And I'll tell you a couple of the negative comments I heard, and I'd love to hear your take on this. Of course, there's always Disney haters out there, but you get people that are saying that this is just part of Disney being woke, which I hate that word. Um, Woke and changing the stories. And so for you, what's your take on a changing Tiger Lily's background, and what does this mean for the cultures where, or I guess the kind of landscape we are in right now?
Yeah, I feel like what you were saying before about Disney like trying to, I don't know, have their own spin on things, trying to be woke and the
Right.
whole conversation that way. I think I mean, what they're doing is a good thing. They're keeping with the times. If they don't, then it's not going to last. I think that's for anybody who is still racist and who are still homophobic. All of these types of things, I think those people are not going to last in the world. I think there's too much change that's happening, and if you're not going to get on the boat, then you're going to drown, basically. So yeah, I think that's what's happening there. The really good thing that they did was bringing David on the project because he is a genuinely kind person and takes care of things like the way you're supposed to. And then bringing me on the project too was also really good for them because I also think about every single detail that goes into these things, and I don't make any choices before I think about them a million times over, just to make sure that they're done really well. And I noticed, like, because I watched the movie as well. I watched it a few weeks ago, just so I know what the movie looks like. I had my own private screening at home, which was really nice, and it's really fantastic. It's it's really good.
I can't wait, can't wait.
Yeah.
And my comment back to some of the people that are discussing the woke thing is, and honestly, what I was afraid of when I heard that they were turning to Peter Pan as one of their remakes for live actions, is that I assume they were just going to eliminate the character altogether. Um, and I'm not sure that fixes anything. I think that just avoids the issue if you eliminate the storyline. So I was glad to see they did it and did it right.
Yeah, no, that was one of the things actually that David was saying to me while we were filming. He was like, Disney wanted me to do a few films with them, and they wanted me to do Peter Pan and Wendy. And the only way I was going to do Peter Pan and Wendy is if we do a complete different take on Tiger Lily. So that was huge for me. I was like, yeah, like Tiger Lily is very important. She should be given the voice and the platform that she deserved from way back 100 years ago, whenever that
Yeah,
was. Yeah. I
yeah.
think it was 70. I think it's 70 years this year
Wow.
um, since the first Peter Pan and Wendy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really crazy that it's that old. Um, and still really, it is still really popular, but I know Disney's added warnings in front of several of their movies now if you watch them on Disney Plus or whatever,
Yeah.
to alert people of the cultural insensitivity in these films. um, Now, having seen the original Peter Pan, I know that Tiger Lily is not alone in that movie. So and I haven't heard, or I don't know if you can tell us anything, but are there other people in your Tiger Lily family in the film?
Yeah, I think we see that in the trailer. So I guess
Okay.
I could
Okay.
talk a
Good.
little bit about it. Yeah, so Tiger Lily does have her little tribe there. They are smaller in numbers, but they're still there.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Now, the film's going to debut. You said April 28th.
Yeah.
It and it's a Disney Plus release, or
Yep, it is.
okay, and it's a film, not a series, right?
No, it's a film. And
Okay.
a lot of people are kind of funny. They come up to me and they ask me, "Oh, you're in the Peter Pan and Wendy cartoon or in the voiceover." And I don't know why that got a little bit mixed up, but but it is not a cartoon. It's a live action.
Yeah, as somebody, I think I told you, I was in Walt Disney World last week, and I'm excited now that we have more authentic character. Is that maybe we can go back and fix the attraction at Disney World, and make that a little better now, um, and maybe we won't have somebody running around with the Pocahontas outfit that's just weird. So maybe we'll have a little bit more authentic take on things at Disney World, which would be pretty exciting. And representation is so important, and I know there's so many hundreds of thousands of little girls that are going to see this film and attach themselves to this. You know, as you have been working in since you're 16, just even if it's just a few years, can you tell me who have been some of the people that you've looked to film or in film or in other roles that kind of led the way for you?
Um, well, since I was a little girl, I think one of the first big representations that I saw was this dance team that was called the Red Power Squad. And I don't know if you have heard about them, but they were like
No.
a team that were out in Alberta,
Okay.
and they would travel around to schools and basically do a little dance for the kids, like break dancing and just show that kids can dance and they can have fun. And they're a native team, so it was really cool. Another really cool thing was that one of them was actually my older cousin that I had no idea he
Wow.
was my older cousin, James Jones. And he's a really well-known person now on TikTok, I hear, and he does all the powwows and dances. But yeah, he was one of the people that I really looked up to, just seeing that um, positive role model to look up to, because he also went on a big sober journey as well, which was really nice to see. And just another, like, a bunch of actors that were from back in the day, like Michelle Thrush. She was a OG actress that everybody knew about, and she also came from Alberta. So like all of these people back in the day they were a bit
Right.
smaller, but they still did really big things to me as a kid. I was like, yeah, like people can do things and they can make change and they could be who they want to be, and that's something really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this is going to open more doors for you. So, do we have any more projects on the horizon that you can talk about, or where we're heading in the next year? Hitting up any powwows this year or anything?
Oh, it's my dream to go to Gathering of Nations powwow.
Yeah.
I've never been yet, but this year I definitely want to go. I want to get my daughter out dancing as well. She loves dancing fancy and jingle, so I want to take her out. And other than that, I do have a few projects that are coming up this year, but they're very, very under wraps still. Um,
Okay.
and then
Well, that's good.
I just did Bones of Crows though. That was this past fall that
Hmm.
we'd wrapped it. Or no, actually, that was a year ago. A year. The whole COVID thing that happened kind of made me think that the past few years are all 1 year.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. It all runs
um,
together now.
yeah, but last year I filmed Bones of Crows, which was filmed here in Vancouver, and I think that's coming out now this year as a TV series, and we just released the feature film
Okay.
that was also made at the same time, and that's been traveling around to a lot of Canadian and now United States film festivals.
All right. We'll look for that too. That's exciting to see. You got some more stuff already on the way. So that's cool, and more being worked on. That's exciting. Cool.
Yeah,
Well, thank you for spending a few minutes with it. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see the movie. Um, it's going to come out in the middle of Gathering of Nations, of course. So hopefully, maybe I can download it and watch it on the plane on the way home. That would be perfect, right? Um,
yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
yeah. Thank you. It was really nice chatting.
Thank.
Maybe we'll see you Gathering of Nations.
Hope so. All right. I hope you enjoyed my interview there with the star of the upcoming film Peter Pan and Tiger Lily. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this storyline and the effort of Disney to include the character again and to let her invite or include her Cree culture? But first, I do need to thank today's sponsor. A warrior is called to protect, and we have survived a lot. COVID is still around, and we need to continue our part to protect our communities and ourselves. An updated COVID vaccine restores your immunity that does wane over time. If your last dose was before September 2022, it's time for an update. Let's make sure that powwows keep running, that we keep everything open. Thanks to our friends over at the Department of Health and Human Services for their continued sponsorship. All right, don't forget contest PowWows.com/win. That's where we're doing our giveaway with the 8th generation folks, and I promised you a bonus code. So if you take the code 426326 and head over to PowWows.com/win, you can enter that and you get extra entries. And I did forget to show this while Brooke was on. I don't know if Brooke probably didn't stay through the interview because I know she's down there being a freshman. But I'll tell a story while you take that code and remember it. We were at Disney World last week for spring break, and my daughter texted us, my wife and I, said, "Hey, we want to meet up." And I, no idea what she needed. That's not something, her and her roommate were out having fun. We didn't know what she needed or what was up. But she texted and said she had bought my wife and I a gift. This is what she found for me. If you haven't been to Disney World, I love walking through Disney World and seeing all the kids playing with these things. It is like walking through a field of bubbles. Look at what this thing does. Okay, somebody says we need to be louder. I will look at the sound. I'm sorry about that, but I will make sure the sound. But yeah, Brooke bought me a bubble wand. This thing's nuts. Look how it churns out some bubbles. So when you're walking around Disney, it is super fun because there's dozens of kids with these bubble wands, and they just make these big tunnels of nothing but bubbles. Anyways, all right, please go over and enter to win PowWows.com. Use that bonus code. Can you win the No, these are only available in the parks. You can only get these in the parks. And I've already used over half of my juice. I got to get me some more bubble juice because I'm gonna use it all here soon. Because yes, I'm continue to play with it even while I'm home. It's super fun. I joked the other day I want to strap it to the back of my chair and just have it like go off all the time when we're doing these shows. Wouldn't that be fun? Marshall, thank you, man. It's super fun. All right, don't forget to make sure you go check out the calendar, see all the new stuff we're putting on the calendar. Lots of powwows happening. There are tons. We upcoming streams. We're streaming the tribal health public health conference in Choctaw, Oklahoma. The second week in April, they're having obviously a health conference out there, but they're also having a powwow in conjunction with that. So we'll be streaming the powwow and parts of the health conference. So look for that second weekend in April, and then end of April we'll be out there in Albuquerque with the Gathering of Nations, and then and of course April 28th. Don't miss the premiere of Tiger Lily, or Peter Pan and Wendy. It should be called Tiger Lily. Peter Pan and Wendy, starring Alyssa as Tiger Lily. Oh, somebody says yes, you can get them at Downtown Disney. You're right, or Disney Springs now. You can get them at Disney Springs. You're right. If you don't want to go to the park, you can get them there, but you can only get them at Disney World. They have some that sell on Amazon and stuff, but they're not like the super duper bubble ones, right? And I don't know what they do, what the mechanics in here are, but look at that. Yeah, I'm fascinated, which is why she bought it for me. I've always chased the bubbles in the parks. I'm that guy. So now I have my own. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you spending some time with me here tonight. I do appreciate your support. You guys out there, PowWows Nation, you are the best. Thank you for all that you do and all the support you give us. The best way you can support us, and I ask that if you do want to help out, remember to go shop PowWows.com/Amazon. That helps us out. Easy way to help us out is comment, like, share any of the content. Of course, that helps us get seen. And that really helps get the word out about what we're doing, especially any of the calendar events you see. Hey, share those out. That helps. We really appreciate that. And of course, if you also would like to join our Patreon, you can always join that too, and that really helps. That helps a ton. The folks over there at Patreon are really making a difference in helping PowWows.com move forward. You can join that over at PowWowNation.com. Steve says he's on his 19th cup of coffee. Good Lord. I have one, and I'm jittery, but I mean, there's some days where I want one and I'll go get one. But yeah, caffeine and I don't normally see eye to eye, especially in something like such a high dose as coffee. But haven't been out to get any I like the cold brews, and I like that stuff. Not just straight cup of coffee. And I haven't gone and gotten one this week, so maybe tomorrow will be the day I can go out and get us something. That sounds pretty good, right? Connie says, "Where is this?" I'm not sure which part of this you're referring to. I'm in South Carolina. If that's what you're referring to. Butterfly, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hey, Steve, thanks for hitting that like button. Also, if you're over on YouTube, please hit subscribe. I can't see it, but I do have a countdown back here. We are counting down subscribers. We're at 75,900 on YouTube. Really want to get to that 100,000 and get that play button and put it up on the wall right there. So help me out. Go hit subscribe over on YouTube. Appreciate that support. Connie says she's up in Chicago. Hey, welcome. Well, thanks, everybody. This is the show we do here at PowWows.com every Thursday night, PowWow Nation Live. Join me again next week. And until then, I hope you're able to spend some time with the family this weekend. Give them a hug. Tell them you love them. And have a great weekend. I'll see everybody soon. Thanks, everybody.